Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Damn Music Show. I'm Micah Wagner, and this is Darren Dreyowitz. Darren, you tell them what we're doing today.
Well, it is a few days before Christmas, so Merry Christmas,
Jingle
Happy
bells,
Holidays,
jingle
yeah, Happy
bells.
Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy everything,
Happy
everyone. We
Christmas,
love it.
Hanukkah, Kwanzaa.
Yes, that's a real thing. It should be. So we're going to do a year-end recap, a special edition. We're going to call it our Rose and our Thorn edition. So every rose has a thorn.
Every
Um,
rose has a thorn.
yes, it does. You ever seen those guys live? I have. I've seen them. I've seen that band perform that song many, many
I
times.
have
So.
not. I have seen them this many times.
I don't know that you're missing that much, but yes,
I don't know.
that is
I'll bet they
definitely.
put on a bomb show. I'll bet it's
Oh,
good.
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of
Yeah.
fun. Yes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So Rose and Thorns, we are going to name the three best things in 2020 in the world of music, and our three bad things. Mike and I have not shared with each other, so you're going to see us react to each other's lists. It could be related to the show, it could be music, it could be anything entertainment wise. I don't know what Mike is going to say, but Mike, why don't we start with the bad to get that out of the way first?
I don't know. I
You
feel
say
like I
your
want to
third,
start
I'll
with
say
the.
my third.
I want to start with the positive. The bad's gonna
You want to
make me
start with the positive?
sad. Let's
All
do
right.
positive, and let's do one each. So we'll do our
Yes,
third down. So third
that's right.
that to our number one. I'll
So
go
number
first.
three, start. Go for it.
So
Number
number
three,
three.
best thing.
Sorry, number three. Best thing that happened in 2020, music related, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
You can tell we don't
I
rehearse.
Yeah, for real. Also, the interwebs, when they're going back and forth, it's a thing.
Right.
I was really excited to see the resurgence and re-emergence of a little band called Fleetwood Mac as their
Oh, wow.
dreams came back to
Yeah.
life through basically the internet sensation that it was, teaching me that the lead singer is actually pretty good looking. So it was a real
Stevie Nicks.
thing for me, Stevie, Miss Nix. So I learned a lot of things in 2028. But I was really excited to see old music. Not necessarily that it was Fleetwood, who I do love, but just older music getting tossed into the top acts of today. It was cool.
Well, I have to say I'm surprised by that on many levels, but it is another reminder that there really is only kind of two kinds of music. There's good music, and there's bad music, and there's good music that's been around for 5 minutes. There's good music that's been around for 50 years, and everything in between. And so, yeah, I think it's don't forget about the classics. I mean, it's
Yeah,
good to dust them off the shelf,
yeah.
take them off the shelf, dust them off, and listen to them. And Fleetwood Mac is a whether you like their music or not, it really is irrelevant. But they are a set of skilled, talented musicians who wrote skilled songs, and we should
Hmm.
not forget about that. They're most of them are still alive, but not all of them.
And
So
the
yeah, that's
lyrics
cool.
spoke to such a young generation. That's what I loved. I loved seeing something get picked up that really was lyric centric and fire
Right.
with a younger audience. So it's not just that it's Stevie Nicks and that it's Fleetwood. It was that concept. Hey, the next Gen Z, even down, is going,
Right.
I love what they're saying. Boom, throwing it in. That was what I
I,
thought was really
what
cool.
I
And
love about that what I love about that story is that guy was like a 50-year-old skateboarder
yeah, yeah, with
who
the cranberry juice.
got that music out on TikTok.
Yeah, 100%. 100%.
That's amazing.
Yeah, I
All right,
agree.
that's freaking awesome. Okay, my
Hmm.
number three good thing is the discovery and emergence of Wolfgang Van Halen. As
Awesome.
somebody I've known about for his entire life. I remember him being born. I wasn't there in the room, but I remember the whole news about it. I've known who he is, kind of known what he's done, but I really have not paid attention to him. And as a Van Halen fan, I should probably know more. But he did more than impress me with his first song
Me
out
too.
of the gate, and I think he did something marvelous for himself, for his father, and a strong first single. And so, we don't hear that kind of music anymore. That sort of '90s, 2000 rock stuff being released as new, and Wolfgang did it. So my number three good thing is the discovery of Wolfgang Van Halen.
I love it. I was so surprised as well, taken back, and also adore the track. And I think he did a great job, and I'm a fan, and I'm following it across all platforms now. So that's a good one. I
Awesome.
love it. Fantastic.
Number
Uh,
two.
Number two plays right into my number one and your previous comment. I think maybe the best thing to happen to music in a long time, TikTok. It's doing things we never thought would happen, and it's
Right.
really pivoting artists that are can be unknown. Of course, it'll be manipulated from the top down, but I'm seeing some really cool things come out of TikTok and pushing music. It is a music-centric platform, even though it's used on video. It uses video. So I'm really excited to see what TikTok does for music going forward. I think it's very cool. And of course, they were around before last year. I just think last year was their like
Kickoff
big
this year.
push. Sorry, this year. And really, really their big push. And it music centric.
Yeah, and I think Facebook needs to wake the f up with the and
Agree.
YouTube too with the immediate insta block that
Agree.
they have. There needs to be a little bit of wider look, and we're all for protecting artists' rights. We're not suggesting otherwise,
Dude,
but
I saw Guy
yeah,
Forsyth did a Christmas show at the Saxon Pub, and they
yeah,
blocked the live show because they were singing Christmas music. That is a nightmare for everyone involved. For artists and musicians, that's heartbreaking. Like they're just playing Christmas music. So the whole
yeah.
live stream was blocked,
What
and
happens
they were
if you
shut
play
down.
what happens? Isn't most Christmas music public domain now
That's
for
what
the
I
most part?
thought. So I guess they sang like a Mariah Carey one or something. I don't know. Some song that wasn't public domain, and their whole show got blocked. I mean, that's a $500 to $1,000 show just to get all the people there to run it, the cameras and everything, and to shut that down live. I was really sad about that to see that.
Yeah,
So
that's well for work. A couple weeks ago, I did a Facebook Live video, and we were on an outdoor event, mass friendly, and way in the background in a speaker, a song by the Eagles was playing, "Take It Easy," and Facebook shut down the
oh my
Facebook Live because
gosh,
there was a speaker 100 yards away playing the Eagles. Had nothing to do. None of us were even paying attention to what song was on there. So,
they're gonna have to
you know,
figure
like
out
our
something.
our friends say in Letterkenny, figure it out. Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. I
Facebook.
do believe they should figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to our number one.
I
Oh
gotta
wait,
get my number
you're
two
two. You're
first,
two.
bro.
Go, yeah.
Mine is very similar to yours. Mine is the miracle of the internet, something that we take for granted because it's been around for 20 plus years now. But isn't it amazing? We're in different rooms now because we're quarantining for Christmas and the holidays with our families. But the ability to discover new artists that you weren't other. I became a huge fan of an Australian independent artist named Alex Leahy, who sings sort of pop rock, kind of older style music, even though she's
Yep.
in her mid 20s. And I discovered her through Instagram,
Yep.
actually. Went and found all her music on YouTube, downloaded it, all that. She got paid. And just thank goodness in this COVID year for the miracle of the internet of not replacing live music, but still give us an avenue to have these kind of conversations and relationship, but also too to when things aren't blocked stupidly to discover new artists. Because now I have somebody that still plays bars in Australia that I'm a huge fan of, and I can actually communicate with her kind of via YouTube and Instagram. That's pretty awesome. And I let's not forget the miracle of the internet.
I think that's fantastic, and I completely agree. Imagine if this did happen in the 20s and you didn't see anyone for a year and a
Right,
half. We're spoiled to many extents and trying to play present to the things we should be appreciative of because there's plenty
right.
can be overlooked. Well done. Okay, moving to our number one, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, there's some in this house. There's some in this house. I said certified freak 7 days a week. I gotta go with Cardi and Megan. It was a thing. It still is. I can't get it out of my head. It was hilarious. It's empowering. It's just one of those next songs that makes one group of people go, "This is amazing," and another group go, "The world is burning." I love those songs. So I'm going with WAP was the number one
Right.
thing to happen to music in 2020 on a multifaceted level. It was really the beginning of our show too, and one of our connections. So it was a big pivotal moment for us as we had a lot of fun with it and connected. So I think that is my number one.
It'll be a song we're talking about 20 years from now.
20 years from now.
Speaking of new songs, my number one good thing for this year is the sheer volume of new music
Nice.
from artists. We got new music from the Strokes, from the Foo Fighters. Marilyn Manson put out his first album in
Yes.
7 years,
Yes.
something like that. Chris
You started to
Stapleton put
kind of like Justin Bieber. Remember that?
I didn't say that. Chris Stapleton put out new.
Yeah.
Taylor Swift put out
Yeah.
2 albums.
A lot
Taylor
of
Swift put out 2 albums
collaborations
within
too.
A lot of collaborations. So the sheer volume of the music industry. Lady Gaga put out a new album,
Yeah.
right? She kind of went to retro to old Gaga.
Yeah.
The top players in the music industry had a big year
Had a heyday.
of new products.
No
out.
travel, so they were able to get to the studio and do some work.
Yes.
Yeah, great
Yeah,
one. I
Shawn
love
Mendes, Shawn Mendes is another one. There's just whatever you want. I mean, when you've got Chris Stapleton, Marilyn Manson, Shawn Mendes,
it. Foo Fighters.
Foo Fighters, whatever you're into, there's new music for you to have
Agreed.
at a moment. So I think the creativity and the business side of music really kicked ass this year.
I think
in
that's
terms of
awesome.
music.
Agree. I think that's totally awesome. Well, let's flip the script. Why don't you go first for the number 3 thorns of 2020? We had more than a couple.
The 3 counting downwards, no live music. I miss it. I go see it a lot, and
It's brutal.
it's been kind of a bummer. I mean, there's little pockets of places that are outdoors and remote and rural that you'd have small audiences, and I've done some of that, but I've been pretty careful. But no live music has just really been bad.
I have also put no live music as number
Hey!
3 because I think it's bigger than any one thing. It deserved to be at the top of the premise because it's affecting so many musicians, artists, people that work in the industries, people that build the stages, everything else. It has been a big deal. So it's not just not having live music, but the lives that are affected by not having live music.
And
So-
the live music venues, who knows if they'll ever come back?
Yep.
I mean,
it's gonna be a different world.
I'm sure some people pick up the place, but there's where we live in Austin, Texas. There are live music venues that have been around for 40 or 50
Thousands.
years. Yeah, and who knows if they're
A lot have closed. A lot. I already know more than a couple of handfuls of some of my favorite that closed. So we'll see who comes in place of that, but it will never be the same, and that's sad.
Right.
But I am a positive style person, and growth is part of life, change is part of life, and this is one of those weird moments. So we're going to see how we go out the backside as we mourn some of that, like shedding. So it is what it is.
I agree. All right, second one for you.
My number 2 on the list, I'm lumping these two together. There was a lot of people that moved on from us in 2020. I was very sad to see John Prine head out the door, and of course, Eddie Van Halen. So those two heading out in 2020 didn't make me feel good, and I'm sure you're going to agree as well. So super bummer. And that was one of my big, that was a double thorn.
No one ever wants to say goodbye to the ones we care about, and that's true even with the people that make the art.
Yeah, such pioneers,
My
both
second-
of them.
Yeah, my second one isn't quite as dire or somber, but that is the reaction from the BTS and Blackpink fans who can't take a joke.
Oh, can't handle the heat, Darren. Can't handle the heat.
We are 94.7% positive on this show, but we're also about authenticity and real feedback. And so,
Well, Darren, you just don't
we're not
understand
making
how
a-
real they are, Darren. You just don't understand. They're so real. They're real.
Okay, so if a guy with 600 followers on YouTube says, Blackpink is Spice Girls 2.0, we're bigger things to worry about in this world, people.
However,
okay?
I did a little
Yes.
research on both of them, Darren, and I kind of agree with our standpoint. Let's see if BTS hangs around long enough. They're so talented, all of them. They are really good, but they are a product. That is, I'm sorry, I'm out.
It's not whether they're good singers or good
Yeah.
dancers.
And if they
Just
release some good songs, I'll probably listen to it. And if they have
right,
solo careers, I'll definitely listen.
right.
But come on,
Just
it's like Kleenex. That's just tissue paper. They made a great brand. It's still clean. It's still a tissue paper.
right, right. All right, so that's my second one. All right, so number one for you.
Number one for me is just COVID. Just COVID. It's
Right.
just the whole baggage of the bull crap. However, on the positivity side, we're doing good, people. I hope all of you are doing good. And if you're not doing good, I hope you're reaching out to the people that are doing okay. And if you look at it collectively as a globe and a world of traumatic world events that are happening, we're okay. It's a nightmare. It's terrible. But World War II, let's go back to World War One, man.
Right.
Holy cow, that it is mind bending. So I'm trying to do my best to stay as positive as I can. And for anybody that's not as positive, reach out to everybody else for help as we hopefully kind of sort through this. On my big rose of potentially 2021 is the hope for the vaccine being successful and everything else. But just COVID in general. That's my number one.
Yeah. So mine is the death of Eddie Van Halen, and
Yeah.
I've had some time and distance to think about it. Yeah, I probably can count on one hand the number of times I've been upset with a celebrity dying. I mean, I never want to see anybody pass, but Eddie was meant a lot to me as a kid and as a teenager, and he was more than just a celebrity. He was somebody that I admired and looked up to. His music made me happy.
Yeah.
He was a true star, and he was inspiring. And it's not just the loss of him; it's sort of the loss of that time period too. There's not a lot of
Oh, yeah.
guitar gods
Yeah.
left around anymore, and that was just a bummer. But wanting to finish on a high note, the good news with Eddie and John Prine is they had the opportunity to produce a lot of music, and Van Halen has well over 100 songs. There's all kinds of videos and documentaries on him. His legacy and his talent will live on through his kid, and so I'll leave it positive there. That
Yeah, that's great.
I'm glad I got to be in his world in a fan way. But
When
my
I
number one
called you
is
too,
that he passes.
I was the first to break it to you.
Yeah.
You left here after a damn show, and I picked up my phone while you walked out the door, and the news said Eddie Van Halen dies, and I said,
Right.
oh my gosh, I dialed you right away, and you started crying, like right off the bat, like not
I
bawling like a
turned.
baby, but
Yeah.
immediately like pulled
Yeah.
off the road, needed a minute. And we've talked a lot about that stuff, and so I get it. It's a huge thing that shaped you and those people that
Yeah.
shape us. So super emotional moment. We have a really good video on that was a big deal for me, watching you and seeing how you were really impacted. It's a very raw video, so I recommend it to anybody that wants to see about how we talked about Eddie's passing. I thought Darren was very real, very authentic. So
Cool. Well, happy 2020, everyone, as best as you can be. Looking forward to the new year. We're going to keep on keeping on with this thing. And, for those 600 people that are following us along, thank you very much. Leave comments, questions, suggestions. We read them all, I promise.
I'm gonna say bye like a TikToker.
Is that how they do it? I don't know.
Yeah, that's it.
I got to get more TikToks.
All right, later, guys.